Hi everybody. Okay, so it's week 1, which means we always have to start with getting our budgets in place before we do anything else when it comes to finances. When you're really trying to get things in order, you need to really see where your money goes every month, what your bills are, the cost of your living. So that's going to be your main goal for this week, is to be writing down all of your expenses. And I've uploaded all sorts of different budget sheets in the file section for you to do that, so that you can have it all in one place. There's Excel forms for people that want to do it online, and there's printable versions as well. There's also simplified versions and more complicated, depending on how overwhelmed you might get, because some people I find it's just want something more simple, and other people want something a little bit more complex that they can do. So there's a bunch in the file section you can go and check out. But yes, you'll start with going and writing out all of your expenses so that you know what it is. Then you write out all of your income as well, all the different income sources that you're going to have, and there's a sheet for that as well in there, so that you know how much money you have coming in each month. There's also forms in there if you don't know how much money comes in every month. Maybe you live off commission and things are different every month. There's also forms for that in the files too. So you're going to write out all of your income, you're going to write out your expenses, and then you're going to form a budget. So you need to see where you can necessarily cut, if there's ways that you can spend less in different areas, and excuse me, and push back, so that you're able to put more towards our emergency fund and debt repayment later on. But the important thing is to just really set up a plan so that you can allot that money every month, because it's very important that you're going and giving everything that you make in a month a place. And it's called a zero-based budget, and that's something that Dave Ramsey talks about a lot. Is that you make sure you're spending, before you even receive it, all the money that you get, by allotting it to the different areas. Now, how Dave Ramsey does that is through what's called an envelope system. So not only are you going to budget and you're going to say, this is the amount I'm going to spend, but that money then is going to go in an envelope each week or every 2 weeks, depending on what works best for you in your pay schedule. And that's the money that you get for those items. Now, you don't need to go and have an envelope of a budget for things like your electricity and your rent and gas and stuff like that. It's for things that are variable expenses, things like your clothing and gifts, things like food, gas. Those type of things can go in envelopes so that you're not tempted to overspend. So we don't want to be using, and this might be tough for some people, is we don't try to not use your debit account or credit over the next month. We want to strictly start using cash and using our budgets that we've made to strictly stick to those amounts. This way you're really not tempted to overspend. It's estimated that people go and spend just like, I think it was 40% more up to 40% more at stores, just because they have a debit or a credit instead of cash, which totally makes sense. I found I spent way less and was grabbing way less items when I knew I only had a certain amount of cash on me. So when you're really trying to get set with your finances, having cash that you're using instead of debit is huge. Now, in the files as well, I have a tutorial on YouTube that's also been done on how to do a zero-based budget, and then he also talks about how you can put that amount into your envelope system. This is so important, you guys, to get this kind of right and make sure your numbers are right. Now, what do you do if your numbers don't balance, like your expenses are more than you get paid? Well, then you need to cut back, if you can, on expenses. Those kind of extra things can just kind of get cut back for now, and that's going to be very different depending on each person's circumstances and what they can do. And if that's not an option, then I highly recommend you find a way to make more money per month, whether it's putting in extra overtime. Maybe you do daycare and you take an extra kid. Maybe you already have a home business on the side and you put in extra hours on that. whatever it is to make that extra money then that you need to make your budget at least balance, you need to make sure that you do that as well. So I hope this made sense to you guys. If you have questions, please post below, or I will also create a frequently asked questions doc so that you guys can ask me too questions that maybe everyone can see at the same time so that nothing gets missed. It can be kind of confusing filling out budgets at first, and if you need help, just like I said, just ask and we'd be happy to help you get it started, because this really is going to be the basis for everything else we do for the month, is having a really solid foundation for your budget. So yeah, I can't wait to chat with you guys more. Okay, bye.